Hey guys, it's your girl Renee from Renee's Garden Adventures, and I am making this video because I am going to answer some of the questions that Q from Q said Homestead was asking me about my pepper plant, my pepper nigrum plant that she purchased for both of us. And I am so grateful because I really never ever heard of a pepper plant that we can grow our own peppercorn. So I was like, what? So she was nice enough to send me one. So hers is Theodora and mine is Theodore. So Q was asking me how many leaves did Theodore have, and I have a total of 13 of these leaves on mine because she was saying that she wanted hers to branch out like mine. And to be honest with you, Q, when I got my plant looked just like yours. It was low to the ground. They were all clustered together. But then as soon as I watered them and put that spike food into the plant, then it seemed like it got rejuvenated and it started to branch out. And here's some new growth that I have on my plant, which is right here. Can you guys see that? Right there. I have a leaf coming. I have two leaves, new leaves coming out of there. And you were talking about the thickness of the leaf. Look at this. Yes, mine is that thickness you were talking about. And you also asked how long have we had this? I would say we've had this plant like 5 to 6 months now. So I think in that little time frame that we've had this plant, I think of both our plants are doing really well. And I know you were saying about your cocoa core stand that I found at Kohl's, and I purchased one for you and I purchased one for myself. And you were saying that you didn't want to bring yours in because yours was your pepper nigrum plant, Theodora, has been in the greenhouse, and you had the fungus gnat, and so you were concerned with cocoa core having the fungus gnats, which I understand, girl, because once them things get in your house, they are so hard to get rid of. So you are doing the right thing by letting it stay outside, let those fungus gnats get off of that cocoa core, or like you said, you can just make you a new stand because you purchased all that big old roll of that cocoa core from Myers. So go ahead and make you a new one and put it into the plant so Theodora can climb. Now, my issue is why me and Theodore had to have that coming to Jesus talk was because Theodore, he was uh, he was trying to do his own thing. And I know that this is like a tropical plant. And from the video that I watched, that one lady plant, it was like almost like a beanstalk type of a plant. And her pole was huge and tall. So, and I know that this pepper plant is supposed to vine around this cocoa core, but see, Theodore didn't want to do the vining around. That's why I had to put that clamp on him so I could at least contain him at least in the vicinity of this cocoa core stand so he can get in his little plant life, his mind he needs to wrap around that pole. So I had to sit down and we had to have a long talk. So Theodore is doing a little bit better, but as you can see, I have some kind of biting on these leaves going on. But Q, you said you haven't seen any of those like crystallization things on your plant. So I'm hoping that when you get yours acclimated from the greenhouse into your house, and after you get it, growing nicely, that if you see any of those little white crystal things, to don't forget to tell your girl, because then I'll feel a lot better. Because what I've been doing is just taking some neem oil and then just spraying on Theodore. And I've been wiping them down, taking all them crystal things off. And when I do that, they come back. But I do that because they say it's like a protective mechanism that this plant puts out in order to attract the good bugs. But child, I don't want no good bugs. I don't want no kind of bugs on this plant because I'm keeping my plant inside the house and I'm use growing it as a house plant. I'll never put Theodore outside because it's a tropical plant and I know we have harsh winters and I don't want to put him out there and then I have to bring him in, take them out of the pot, rinse off the roots, the leaves. Think about what you're dealing with, Q. If we have to deal with them fungus gnats, I'm not trying to deal with all that. So I'm trying just to keep them in the house. And like you said, you're going to be putting yours on a heat mat. And I think right here, let me show you. I think once I get done and I put these winter choys outside, this is where Theodore is going to reside because I can bend these lights up and down so I can put some heat from the lights on Theodore. And I'm hoping that this will be a perfect location for him. Then that way I don't have to worry about trying to find, you know, um, or buy anything that would house Theodore. So I think I'll keep that little tray up with the grow lights, and that's where he's going to last through the winter. Plus, we keep our house a little hot, so in the winter time. So I think that will be a good help too. So, like you said, Q, if we could keep our plants alive through the winter, we're going to just reap the benefits when spring comes because then I can put Theodore back on the windowsill where he loves it and he will continue to grow nicely for me. So that's the game plan. That's the plan I'm hoping to do. And I know that you guys, our gardening family, have your fingers crossed and you're going to give us all good wishes that both our plants will do a great job by surviving the winter time. And I know you guys are going to be excited to see how Theodore and Theodora does in the springtime. Because I know I am. I'm going to do the best I can because Q and I have worked so hard to get our plants to where they are now. So we want to keep on going. And as you can see in the corner over there, I have that spike. That's what I put in there to feed them. And it's a spike for house plants. And it's supposed to last up to 3 months. So I don't have any problems feeding Theodore. I just got to get the proper location for him in the house so he can thrive, thrive, thrive. And hopefully through the winter, he will be a little bit bigger, a little fatter, and he'll be already used to the how the climate changed in our house for the winter. All right, guys. Well, I just hope I answered all your questions you wanted, Q. But I'm with you. Got my fingers crossed. If you need me to help you with anything about your pepper nigrum plant, let your girl know. And I know if I need help, you're willing to help me too. All right, you guys. Have a wonderful day. Have a blessed day. And this is my update again on Theodora, our Piper nigrum pepper plant. And I cannot wait to see our first peppercorn because Q says it takes about a year before we should see our first black peppercorn. And I can't wait. I think if we can see our first black peppercorn, then I think we are doing something, Q. I think we are really doing something. And then I can grow my own peppercorn and put it in my pepper mill and make my own black pepper. All right, Theodore, you hear that? Everybody out there is praying for you, wishing you nothing but good luck, and keep growing and keep doing what you're doing and listen to Miss Renee. You hear them, Theodore? They're telling you better get to listening because you're not the boss. We're a team and we gotta work together. All right? All right. He says he'll listen and he'll try to do better. All right, you guys. Have a wonderful day. Have a blessed day. And I will catch you in the next video. And I will keep you updated on Mr. Theodora. And make sure you guys go over to Q said Homestead and support her and give her all your luck and all your love for her plant Theodora because we are in this together. All right, guys, take care.